Top 10 facts about comic books. Alright, let's get into it. Number 1, Spock and Wolverine Fisticuffs. Marvel crossed over with Star Trek and created the title X-Men and Star Trek, where Spock and Wolverine duke it out, which Spock actually gets the better of Logan by using the Vulcan neck pinch. Number 2, the Comics Code. Do you know how hard that is to say? The Comics Code? I just did like 27 takes. The Comics Code used to prevent a comic book from being sold if the hero of the title failed to be victorious in the end of the book. Now, the Comics Code was created in 1954 by Comics Magazine Association of America. It was an alternative to government regulation. Today, publishers regulate their own content, but that's a whole nother video. Number 3. Michael Jackson tried to buy Marvel Comics in the early 90s because he wanted to play the part of Peter Parker in a Spider-Man movie. According to Stan Lee, he met with Jackson, and Jackson didn't literally express to him that he wanted to play Peter Parker, but talking to Jackson kind of gave him the idea that that's exactly what he wanted to do. And I think Stan said that that he didn't think that Marvel would sell the rights to Spider-Man. So then Jackson was just like, well, I'll just buy Marvel Comics then. Just as a whole. I'll just buy the whole company. And then I can make myself Peter Parker in a Spider-Man movie. Why not? So, as I doubt it would have made a great movie, it's a very interesting story. There are some videos of Stan Lee with giving interviews talking about this. So, it's fun to check out if you haven't seen it. Number 4. Gotham City is in New Jersey, and Metropolis is in Delaware. Delaware. So, hold on. Delaware? When I was a kid, I used to like to make believe that New York City was Metropolis. And for some reason, I created Gotham City as being where Chicago is. So that's kind of in my mind how I kind of related them to each other. But when I learned this, that Metropolis is in Delaware, what city in Delaware is as big as Metropolis? I mean, seriously. I don't know what to say about this one, but I really wish I was wrong, but I did a lot of research, and apparently Metropolis is in Delaware. So Superman's flying around Delaware. Awesome. Number 5. The largest collection of comic books in America belongs to the Library of Congress. The Library of Congress comic collection, housed in the Serial and Government Publications Division, includes U.S. and foreign to the U.S. comics. Over 5,000 titles in all, totaling more than 100,000 issues. It's primarily composed of the original print books. It also includes color microfiche and some early comic book hero books. They're mostly compiled titles from the 1950s. There are also a few titles that date back to the 30s. Also a few labeled recommended for mature readers, and they make up the underground comic book collection. The comics are acquired exclusively through copyright deposit. New titles are added on the base of quality of text and graphic depiction, significance of the artists, the writers or publishers, originality of the story or the main characters, the title's popularity, representative of new ideas or social commentary, or availability through copyright. Because of them being so delicate, availability to examine is limited to serious collectors or researchers examining specific titles for, maybe doing a documentary or some kind of research for something historical, something that means something. So you can't just go up there and get your grubby Cheeto-laced fingerprints all over, Action Comics #1. That's not going to happen. But if you fill out the comic book request form, you could take a look at the comic that would cost you a fortune to own. But if you can't do that, like you can't afford Action Comics #1, at least you can enjoy it in its original form as long as you follow all the guidelines. Number 6, the Earth that we live in, we as in you and I, actually exists in the Marvel comic book universe. It's called Earth 1218 or Earth 1218. I'm not exactly sure how many different Earths or how many different realities there are in the Marvel universe, but I'm actually super excited that the one that we actually live in is part of that world. Number 7, there are over 20 types of kryptonite in the DC universe and Superman comics, including a very specific type of kryptonite, pink kryptonite, which gives Superman homosexual tendencies, which is fucking fabulous. I mean, I would love to see Superman on RuPaul's Drag Race. How fucking awesome would that be? Number 8, a young actor by the name of Nicholas Coppola wanted to make it in Hollywood on his own, so he wanted to separate himself from his famous uncle, Francis Ford Coppola, so he took a stage name from the Marvel comic book character Luke Cage, and he became Nicolas Cage. And that's a good segue because Luke Cage is going to be coming out in the new Netflix series Jessica Jones on November 20th, and he's going to be played by Mike Coulter. He's also going to have his own Netflix series starting in 2016, so we're looking forward to that. Number 9, Captain America is Weapon 1 in the Weapon X program. Now this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to leave it at that. Number 10, last but not least, the Punisher protected Eminem from an assassin that was hired by the Parents Music Council. That's right, Slim Shady was running around with the Punisher because some angry parents hired an assassin to assassinate him. I mean, whatever. And there we are, 10 facts about comic books. Do you got any unknown facts about comic books, some things that I don't know? Raise your hand. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you got. See ya. TJ, Amazing Emporium.